everybody, and welcome to the first week of this new show that we're starting called This Week in Sports. It's essentially going to be like a 10-minute or so, a little bit of a description of what's going on in the sports world. We're the Washed Athlete Podcast. We talk about movies, TVs, pretty much whatever we want. We have a mainline series about hour-long episodes about stuff going on in our lives. You should totally check that out. But here we are today to talk about sports. So we are going to start off with the NFL. A lot of big things going on in the NFL. So Peter, hit the NFL for us.
All right, so NFL Week 6 just wrapped up. We're actually getting on to Week 7 tonight, which is going to be the Saints versus the Cardinals. Actually looks like a decent game. Unlike last week's game, the toilet bowl, yet again, of Washington versus the Bears. It was truly one of the worst games I personally have ever seen in my life, only to kick it off to be worse than the Broncos versus, I don't even remember who they were playing, and that kind of says enough about that game. Because there were, I think, 43 consecutive series without a touchdown on Thursday Night Football, primetime games. It's just, I don't know why Thursday Night Football has been so awful, but it has. Amazon needs to show their receipts and get a refund for $1 billion that they paid to the NFL for the rights to Thursday Night Football. It is utterly
Broncos
ridiculous.
Colts not good. Broncos
Colts. I forgot the Colts even existed in that moment. They are beyond irrelevant at this point. I
actually want to know. Broncos and Colts could have been a good game in a perfect world. I don't actually understand what happened with what Washington Bears. Like, everyone knew those teams weren't going to be good. I don't know how they got on the schedule.
They let Russ cook. That's what happened.
That is very true. They did let Russ cook, and Russ did in fact burn everything. So that was a tough watch. Really was. I think there was more punts than first downs or something like that. It was like utterly ridiculous. But in other news, New York / New Jersey football is finally back. Now, everybody kind of going into the season had the Bills as the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. And in fact, they do still look like the best team in the league by beating the Chiefs in a strangely defensively oriented game where the previous matchup where they were in the playoffs was nothing but a shootout in like the end of the third towards the fourth and in overtime. It was some of the best like offensive football I've ever watched. I don't know about you guys, but I think that was a very good game to watch for offensive football. This game, it was a very like almost chess match where you had a great defense against a great offense, and then the Chiefs defense actually able to step up shockingly, even though they lost some key pieces to that. But yeah, Bills are the favorites to win the Super Bowl. They should win the Super Bowl. Josh Allen should be the first player to win MVP and win a Super Bowl in the same season, possibly Super Bowl MVP as well. It's utterly insane. And on the other note, New Jersey football, which I know they're called the New York Giants and the New York Jets, but they do actually play in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So we do have to specify that for those who are from New York. But they are finally good ? The Giants are 5-1. The Jets are 4-2. They've had some actual good wins against good teams, and there was almost like the D Wade to LeBron meme where the Giants set up the Packers and then the Jets just hammered them home. It was two great wins for both teams. The Giants then beat Baltimore at home, which was a very good win. The Jets have Breece Hall, who now looks like an incredible running back for years to come. It's very strange to say this, but I think there's hope in the tri-state area, which is shocking. And of course, as I say that, the tri-state area, I do have to mention the only undefeated team left in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'll let you guys take care of gloating about that. So you can take away from here.
I mean, what else there's this? The Eagles are playing really well. Second half woes continued in Week 6 as we narrowly defeated the Cowboys. It looked a little bit bleak, but the line was set at 6.5. We won by 9, so we can't complain too much. I think a much needed bye week kind of figured some stuff out in the second half. Is Jalen Hurts good? Is he good? I'm not sure yet, but they're the only people that can stop Josh Allen from winning that title. Well, I don't know. I think Chiefs are there, but
yeah. It's definitely going to be a very interesting rest of the NFL season because we've had some very good football being played and some god-awful football being played. We've had some crazy storylines like Tom Brady serving in the military while playing football, and Robbie Anderson pulling a Wish.com Antonio Brown and getting kicked off of his team. So it's definitely going to be very interesting coming up. And that's what's been going on in the NFL. Can't wait to see what's going on next.
I think the big headline that happened in the wild card is the Padres beating the Dodgers, and the Dodgers were the 1 seed, right? Just making sure.
They won 111 games.
The Dodgers, one of the best teams one of the best regular seasons of all time.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the Dodgers the Dodgers pulled a Ryan Tannehill in the playoffs basically, and got booted out first round. Yeah. And then the Padres went to move on, and now they're playing my Phillies in the NLCS, right? I don't know these names.
Yes, right,
I don't know.
Right.
Yay! They're playing them in the NLCS right now, and the series is tied 1-1. So games 3, 4, and 5 are being played in Philly. So it's going to be fun to see the atmosphere there. And right now, the Yankees are also New York, Philly, and Jersey are honestly up right now.
Yes.
Besides the Sixers, we'll talk about that later.
It's fine.
Shout out Padres.
Shout out.
But yeah, the Yankees are playing the Houston Astros, and I'm a little torn between who I want to win this because it's New York. On the other hand, I don't like the Astros because they cheated, and my cousin's wife is from there, and I talk a lot of smack about that, especially being from Houston. But
it's hard.
It'd be cool to see a Yankees-Phillies World Series.
The tri-state area would burn.
Yeah, probably, but I mean, it would be pretty cool to see that. And I don't know. What are you guys' predictions? Because I barely watch baseball, so I don't know the whole statistical analysis of what's going on.
I mean, listen, the Yankees had a really good season. They came in second behind the Dodgers, who had a historic season. Aaron Judge, 62 home runs for the season, one of the best of all time. So when you consider the fact that they were on the fence against the Guardians and now they're already down 1-0 to the Astros, it's not the best look in the world. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they bounce back from the series. But I mean, it's crazy really quickly. Baseball happens really fast, back-to-back games. Very quickly, we find ourselves in a situation where we're fighting for the World Series. So playoffs feel like it started a minute ago. I remember a couple days ago watching the Phillies clinch. So go Phils, fighting Phils. Going to win game 3 and 4, hopefully.
Let's go Yankees. Come on. They got to get out of this hole. They got to beat the Astros once. Just please do it for the love of God.
And so that's going to be a conclusion of our MLB segment. Going over to the NHL. The NHL season starts. Guess what? No one cares. Rangers and Flyers have the same record. So the New York and the Philly rivalry does continue. It'll be interesting to see the rest of the season. If people want to hear more NHL content, let us know below. But otherwise, I don't think we're going to get many people who care. So guess what? No one cares. Anyway, back to the NBA. The NBA season kicked off a few days ago with the Sixers versus Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics took the W after the Ime Udoka suspension for the year. People thought it was going to be a big deal. Fun fact, it was not. Sixers got handled in the third and fourth quarter pretty easily.
Are you a Celtics fan or something?
Yes, he is.
No. On both sides, they played good basketball for the most of the game, but at the end of the way, they pulled away. No one should be concerned if you're either fan. Sixers shouldn't be concerned. Boston fans shouldn't be gloating. Just first game of the 82-game long NBA season. Lakers versus Warriors. If you are a Lakers fan, you should be concerned because you got your ass kicked on national television on the Warriors ring night when you should have been motivated to win. Warriors look dominant. Their young players are playing more minutes and look better than they did last season. Russell Westbrook needs to be traded. Is he going to come off the bench? Is he going to start? Who knows? Patrick Beverley, questionable. Anthony Davis looked like a shell of himself in the second half because, again, he is the worst jump shooter in the league statistically, and he needs to just actually play basketball and go to the rim. Yes. Pelicans versus Nets. If we had Jacob on the podcast right now, he would be gloating about the Pelicans victory. Ben Simmons, 5 points. Interesting. Kyrie Irving said he wants to win Defensive Player of the Year. Continued to play no defense during the game. And Zion Williamson looked really good, and the Pelicans looked posed to have a great season. But again, it was Ben Simmons' first game back after a long season off, so it would be interesting to see. But Zion is not fat, so that is good news to see.
Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, Zion does look like a dog.
Zion does look like a dog out there after we trashed him. He took our podcast as motivation. Go check out our other episodes.
You know what? We deserve credit for that.
Andres last night was caught texting in the group chat saying how much of a dog John Morant is, but it's more interesting about how bad the Knicks are, as they could not defend a soul last night as the Grizzlies win in an overtime game against the Knicks. Knicks are 0-1. They're still not a good team.
3.
But at the end of the day, the Grizzlies took the W. I only put it on the list because it was the Knicks, and I hate the Knicks. So it's on the list, but go Grizz. They're missing Jaren Jackson Jr. again because he's injured. Shocker. Jazz versus Nuggets. The Nuggets, the whole argument around Jokic was once he had his full team, that's why he won MVP. Once he had the full team, he'd win a championship. Well, you just lost to the Utah Jazz on national TV. Colin Sexton staring down Nikola Jokic at the top of the paint, destroying him. What's going on? Utah's supposed to be tanking for Victor Wembanyama, and then suddenly the Nuggets supposed to be fighting for a championship. They can't win the opening game of the season. It's very questionable all the way around. Utah's crying right now because they just got to win when they hopefully could be the worst team in NFL history, so the NBA history. So a whole big thing going on. The Nuggets got to win these games. Utah's not even trying to win. Their team's literally awful. Like, go look at their roster. Like, there's some bad players on that team. And then last but not least, looking forward to the games tonight. You will see this on Monday, so they're actually the Thursday night games. They'll be far past, but Bucks versus 76ers. Again, this is the Bucks season opener. The 76ers have already played, so an interesting game. I don't really think you should expect much from either team. I don't think this game means anything. There's two great teams in the beginning of the season. It'll be a long ride. I'll probably think the Bucks are going to win this game, however. And then you got the Clippers versus the Lakers. The Lakers suck. The Clippers should be good. Kawhi Leonard's first game in about a year, so it'll be interesting to see. And that's it for this week in sports. We hope you like the show. Make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.